A new Wordle puzzle is online. Click on the link to play.
Listening to the following video may give you clues. Please like and share the videos.
A personal obituary for Brian Gaynor. In this article, we look at the career of business commentator and investment analyst Brian Gaynor.
Brian co-founded Milford Asset Management and was a major shareholder in Business. He also championed the NZX.
Read on to learn more about the man who touched many lives. What makes him so special? We'll also talk about his personal life and legacy.
Listed below are some highlights of Brian's life. Brian Gaynor was a business commentator.
Business commentators such as Brian Gaynor often delved into the financial markets and the state of the economy. As a fund manager and equity analyst, he was at the forefront of many major business decisions, often urging New Zealanders to acquire a long-term investment horizon.
The renowned businessman had a wealth of experience and was admired by many businessmen. But what made him a truly great businessman?
Business commentary is a popular and often topical topic, and Brian was no exception. He was a well-known personality who has attracted interest for many years.
His wiki page is chock full of information for fans to learn more about him. From his personal life to his career, there is no shortage of things to learn about this business commentator.
If you're curious about Brian Gaynor's life, here's some facts to help you get started. Brian Gaynor was a popular businessman from New Zealand.
He was a veteran sharebroker, investment analyst, and fund manager. He was passionate about supporting kiwisaver providers and local companies.
In addition to his column in the NZ Herald, he was also a co-founder of Milford Asset Management, one of the country's largest KiwiSaver providers. In the past few years, he'd been investing in an online startup called Business Desk.
Aside from being a noted business commentator, Gaynor also co-founded Milford Asset Management, which has a total of billion under management. Before selling the Business Desk to NZME, Gaynor was its chairman.
His renowned work in financial journalism and investment funds earned him awards both in New Zealand and abroad. The NZX chairman, Mark Peterson, offered his condolences to the family.
He co-founded Milford Asset Management. The renowned investment analyst, fund manager, and business writer Brian Gaynor has passed away unexpectedly on May 15, 2022.
His death was unexpected, but no one could have predicted it. Gaynor's passing came after a brief health crisis.
But his legacy lives on as Milford continues to grow. Read on to learn about the man who made a name for himself in the investment world.
Before founding Milford Asset Management, Brian Gaynor co-founded Business Desk and was its chairman until its sale to NZME. He held positions at Jarden and the New Zealand Stock Exchange, and he was a member of the NZ Society of Investment Analysts.
He was a keen investor and a renowned commentator, who had been hailed by business people and investors. New Zealand business world has lost a legend.
Brian Gaynor, a business writer and stock market analyst, was one of the country's most respected figures. Known as the Titan of the New Zealand stock market, he was the nation's leading investment analyst.
Gaynor died of a brief illness at the age of 73. He had been a frequent contributor to the Financial Review and Business.
Since launching its KiwiSaver scheme in 2010, Milford has managed more than $1 billion. It was recently awarded the Morningstar KiwiSaver Manager of the Year award.
The company also suffered some setbacks after a 2015 market manipulation scandal, but it rebounded to almost double its funds under management to billion. Now, the firm is focused on growth in the Australian market.
If you have been thinking about starting an investment portfolio in Australia, it might be time to think about it. He was the majority shareholder of Business Desk.
Before selling the news website to NZME, Gaynor was a majority shareholder of Business. He also served as chairman of its board.
A journalist by training, Gaynor's work was distinguished by his impressive research and business memory. Gaynor was known for building the strongest possible argument, laying out the facts and delivering his verdict in the final paragraphs.
His wry Irish wit was as refreshing as the subject matter he covered in mid-minus 1909 at his. Gaynor began his columnist career with NBR Shareholders' Corner.
He continued to write for the New Zealand Herald for 2 decades, before investing in Business Desk. Gaynor has a large net worth of $15 million USD.
He also co-founded Milford Asset Management, which is now worth billion. Business has been a part of Gaynor's business for many years, and he remains a board member of the New Zealand Merchants Exchange NZME.
The financial world has lost a titan. Brian Gaynor was a longtime investor in Business Desk and a columnist for the NZ Herald.
He was an advocate for strong stock market regulation. He regularly took contrarian positions, warning against the sale of key New Zealand assets to foreign interests.
His opinions were widely regarded as being critical of the New Zealand Stock Exchange. In 2010, James Miller, the founder and chief executive of Business Desk, called Mr.
Gaynor the titan of the New Zealand capital markets. Despite his many achievements, Brian Gaynor's death was an untimely death.
He was a highly respected investment industry commentator, a former chief executive of Milford Asset Management and a respected weekly columnist in the NZ Herald. He was the majority shareholder of the online financial news site before it was sold to the NZME. He
also supported the Kiwi market and advocated for a level playing field for investors. He was a champion of the NZX.
While Brian Gaynor was an active member of the NZSA, he had a close relationship with the stock exchange that went beyond membership. Harbour Asset Management portfolio manager Shane Solly described him as a bold, outspoken voice in the market.
Mary Home, who worked in media in the 1990s, remembered Gaynor as a true source for journalists and the market during his career as a business commentator and investment analyst with the NZ Herald. Brian was a fierce advocate for small investors and a strong independent stock exchange.
He was also a renowned iconoclastic figure, often taking contrarian positions and warning against the potential sale of key national assets. He was regarded as the titan of New Zealand's capital markets. Despite
his public persona, Brian Gaynor's wealth was modest. He was estimated to be worth between -5 million.
His net worth was estimated to range from $1 to $5 million, but his contributions to New Zealand's capital markets were immense. A renowned investment analyst, he was a big supporter of IBNNZ.